I hope this isn't a groundbreaking take for anyone watching this, but I'm going to say it anyways. There is nothing inspiring, uplifting, heartwarming, positive, or feel good about homeless children. This should be a no-brainer to most people, but apparently to the people over at Action News JAX, I believe that's how you say it, this needs to be said because they posted this headline on Twitter. Inspiring! An 8-year-old started her own charity to help homeless children after learning about the social issue from her family. Now let me get this out of the way. Obviously, it is wonderful that this 8-year-old girl already cares so much about social issues to the point where she would create a charity helping children her own age or around her own age who are currently homeless and don't have such assistance, so she takes it upon herself to provide said assistance to these children who are in need currently. And I know what some people might be thinking. They are saying it's inspiring that the girl created this charity. They're not saying it is inspiring that children are homeless. Clearly that's not what they're saying with this headline. But this headline is still incredibly fucking insensitive because why should we live in a nation that is the wealthiest nation in this fucking world that pours trillions upon trillions into things like the military, and it allows 1%er douchebag CEOs to get richer and richer and richer and vacuum up more and more money from the working class? But it shows contempt for the common folk, especially the common folk who are more in need than most other common folk in this country, the homeless people. I already made a video about this country's contempt for homeless people, so I'm not really going to dive too much into that. But I'm just saying, it is disgusting that we live in a country where it is normalized to throw people out on the streets, like I said in that video some months ago, but it is also especially disgusting that we live in a country that seems perfectly a-okay with throwing families out onto the streets, including children. I already know all the justifications that unempathetic douchebags in this country make when it comes to their contempt for homeless people. Oh, but a lot of them are junkies. A lot of them don't want to work. They brought this all upon themselves. What the fuck do you say about the children out there who are homeless currently? There are 2.5 million homeless children in this country right now. Chances are they didn't do shit to deserve the place they are at in life right now. You can say all you want that the parents are the fuck-ups, the parents are junkies, the parents don't want to work, yada yada yada. Again, the same stupid rhetoric you hear from unempathetic douchebags in this country, but cool. I'm talking about the children though. Why do they deserve the place they are at in life? Because maybe their parents might have made some poor life decisions. The kid didn't put the heroin needle in their parents' hands and say, okay, time to spike up. They were just simply born into poverty and underprivileged. Is that justification alone to just leave them to rot in the streets without any assistance whatsoever? I think not. I don't think anyone deserves to be homeless in this country, regardless of the decisions they may make in life. Stop pouring an unnecessarily enormous amount of money into things like, say, the military, all just to continue our pointless, endless wars in the Middle East. Tax the 1% and use that money to focus on helping the underprivileged people in this country. We have way more than enough, so expense isn't the issue here. And the fact that there are people in this country who see an 8-year-old girl taking it upon herself to start her own charity to help these children who are homeless because the adults who run this country couldn't give a fuck less, as inspiring, honestly just kind of disgusts me because people obviously don't really care about the issue. They may be like, oh, homeless children, I feel so bad, and then just move on with their day after they read the story or just read the headline. Why should it be heartwarming that an 8-year-old has to pick up the slack for the unempathetic adults who do not give a shit about the suffering out there in the world, just let the suffering in this world continue to exist? And then you have douchebags in the media who don't actually care about the issue either. They just take stories like this and give them catchy headlines that they know eyes would be attracted to because they put words like inspirational in all capitals. And hell, I'm sure they knew they make people like me upset by putting the word inspirational in the headline of a story that's actually insanely depressing. So congratulations, good job, it worked. Whatever. What a sweet thing capitalism is. It allows people to exploit the suffering of others, not care about the suffering of others, make catchy headlines, further exploiting the suffering of others for some nice sweet bucks. And meanwhile, we let 8-year-olds pick up the slack for us and create charities when helping homeless people in this country and helping the lesser privileged people in this country in general should be the job of the government, the people who kind of sort of run this country. But no, we don't care. That's not the American way. The American way is just pouring more and more money into bombing people overseas and giving tax cuts to the 1%, allowing them to accumulate more and more unnecessarily huge amounts of money and not giving it back whatsoever to the community. And we're just supposed to be okay with that. We're just supposed to be okay with children being the ones that have enough empathy to help out the lesser privileged in this country. Like, does that not sound dystopian at all? The government doesn't give a shit about us one bit unless you have billions of dollars to your name. It is now up to the children to help the people who are struggling out there in the world. Meanwhile, the media is telling the masses, this is okay, this is actually something you should just accept, this is just the way the country is. Not giving a fuck about the struggling people out there, but if a child wants to help these people, that's perfectly fine, though. That's actually pretty cute and heartwarming and inspiring. It's not at all frightening that a child has more empathy and wants to do more for the lesser fortunate in this country than your government. Sounds like the plot to a dystopian novel, to be honest. Maybe that's something I should get to work on. Maybe I could write the next 1984, and conservatives long after my death can use my book that they didn't even read as a way to validate their enormous victim complex, and as a way to screech about the supposed tyranny that they face after they get banned off of Twitter for using the N-word. Oh god, that's a scary thought, and oh god, I'm sure George Orwell is spinning in his grave, or dancing in his urn. I don't know what they did with his body after his death, but anyways, I am so off track from the topic of this video, so I may as well end it off now. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.